Okay, I'm gonna give you this yellow sheet right here, and what I need you to do is just cut this out, okay? And I'll come around and get your scraps in a little bit while you're doing a game. So if you'll cut out, this yellow sheet. And then I'll tell you what to do with it. Can I do this with your iPad, please? Alright, so cut that out. And then just leave your scraps. Like I said, I'll come around and get them in a minute. Oliver, go ahead and cut that out.
I don't know.
You need to get, you have got to cut it out because we're going to glue it into your composition book in a minute and write on your sheet. So we'll need to borrow some from somebody.
I can share with Oliver.
Thank you.
Oliver, do you want me to move over here?
Just cut yours out and then hand off your scissors. That's all you're cutting out today, is that.
But if we're gonna need other stuff to share,
You won't, just your glue.
we both don't have glue, so.
I don't have any glue.
Okay, it was on, y'all got to have the things on the supply list. You've got to, because we cannot let you borrow
I have
ours.
glue, but I don't have it in my.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, I mean, that's why it was on there, because y'all got to have those things.
Right when I got old enough, I put it here. There we go.
Okay, after you cut this out, so we're gonna go to the first page of your composition book. So we put that tab in the other day, so we're gonna pull that back, and that'll give us our first page. And we're gonna glue this in about right here.
Under there it says chapter 1.
This is chapter 1. We pulled that back. We're on the first page now. This is just the cover page of chapter 1. And then we're in chapter 1. So it's going on that first page about right there. And then you'll need your pencil after you glue that in.
I have the math notebook, but my mom might have taken it out to look at it, and she didn't tell me.
Okay, y'all quickly. We need to move on to the next
I
thing.
don't have it. You can write down what we're doing and
Again, this is your textbook, so I mean, that's where you're gonna know what's going on, because you're making it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, basically what you have right here is what I have up here. Okay, it's the same thing. I have it here and you've got it here, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to underline, see where it says millions, period, underline the word period. Thousands, period, underline the word period. Ones, period, underline the word period. Because every day we'll add words, and it'll be back here on this wall. You see back here where it says are all some math words up there. The first word's period. We don't need to write that word again because it's right there, okay? All right, so if you'll look at here, when we have the place value chart, okay, it's split into periods. So we have the units, or sometimes it's called the ones like it is on yours. So we have the ones or the units, then we have the thousands, and then we have the millions, okay? And notice that they each have 3 numbers. So 3 numbers, or 3 places, okay? So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, millions, 10 millions, 100 million. And I notice we're always gonna have a comma in between the periods, okay? So what I'm gonna do is on your sheet, you have a space to write 5 different numbers. I only have space to write 1. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna put a number, and you're gonna put the same number that I put up here, you're gonna put in your first row right there, okay? So just write this number in there. All right, so I'm gonna put a 35 in the millions period. So put a 35 in the millions period. I'm gonna put a 250 in the thousands period. And I'm gonna put a 688 in the ones or the units. Okay, so you're gonna put that in that first row on your yellow sheet. Okay, so anytime we have a number and it looks like this, okay, so just your basic number, okay, number with commas in it, okay, that's called standard form. And, so we're gonna label this right here, so you can just write it above it if you want to. So this is standard form. Okay, so that's basically just a number written as, with digits. And I'm just gonna draw an arrow to that. So that's standard form of a number. Okay, so you can write on your the white part of your paper and put standard form. Okay, so far we have periods, which are what each one of these are, and then this is the standard form of a number. Okay, now we're gonna come over, and we're gonna come underneath the yellow part on the white part of the page underneath it, and we're gonna write this number in words, okay? You're probably gonna do more writing today than you're gonna do the whole rest of the year, because we don't do a lot of like writing of words in math. So you just take each period. So we're gonna look at the first period, and we see that there's a 35 in it. So we're gonna write 35. Okay, so 35, and it's in the what period? Million. So we're gonna write 35 million, because it's in the millions period. Then we're gonna put a comma. Then we're gonna move to the next period, and we see that it has a 250 in it. So we're gonna write 250. Okay, and then we need to write the period name. So it's 250, what? Thousands. Or thousand, yeah, 250,000, comma. Okay, so we have 35,250,000. And then all we have left is the units, which would be 688. I just wrote that word wrong. Sometimes when I'm talking and writing at the same time, it doesn't work. All right, hold on. Okay, 1,000, and then the last part is 688.
Do we have to write like 688 lines?
No, it's just, yeah, it doesn't have to have, because it's just its own thing. And then this right here, what we just did, that's obviously, but we'll write it here, that's the word form. Okay, so standard form is written as like digits and commas. Word form is obviously where we write it out in words. Okay, so those are just our three things for today. The periods are these, okay? And then we have standard form, which would just be the number written like this. And then we have word form, which would be the number written like this. Okay, so now we're gonna write another number, a totally different number, and we're gonna write it, so we just wrote a number here, right? We're gonna write another number beneath it, okay? Remember that if there's not a number there, remember you need a 0, okay? And I'll explain what that means in just a second. But again, you just take it by period. So we're starting with the millions period. Okay, so start with the millions period. And for the millions, we want 54. So again, think of it as just a regular, 3 digits, and we need 54. So what would you have to do to make it be 54? So that is what needs to be in the millions period. Okay, 54. Okay, then we're going to go to the thousands period, and we want 404. Okay, in the thousands period, 404. So again, 3 digits, and we need 404. And then in the units, or the ones, we need 44. Okay, so think about where the 0 would go. If it's got to be 3 digits, then we need it to just be 44. Okay, so read me the number that we just made. And so you're going to read it to me like this. You're going to say, like, for instance, if this one, you'd say 35, 250, 688. You're reading me the standard form of the number. So don't say it like this. Okay, give me the standard form. So Maggie, what'd you get?
54, 404, 044.
Exactly. 4,404, 044, because there were no hundreds. It was just 44 in the units section, so we'd need a 0 there. Exactly. Okay, so let's try another one that's going to have some zeros. So we'll go to the third row and try another number. Okay, so what if we have 77 million. So that's in the millions period, 77. So 77 million. 6,000, just a 6, not a 60, not a 600, but just a 6. And so then think about where the zeros would need to go if it's just a 6. And then 60. Okay, so what would that number look like? So again, read it to me like standard form. So Maddie, what'd you get?
I got 7, comma, 0, 0, 6, comma, 0, 6, 0.
That's right. So you should have gotten 77, comma, 0, 0, 6, comma, 0, 6, 0. Exactly, because it was 6,000, so the 10,000s and the 100,000s would have zeros there. Exactly. Okay, let's try another one. This one's a little bit tricky. Okay, 9 million, just 9. So think about 3 digits, what would make it just be a 9? So 9 million, and then listen closely. 520. Notice I didn't say anything thousands. I said 9 million, and then I said 520. 520. I didn't say anything with the word thousands on it. So what would that tell you about the thousands period, Maddie?
There are no thousands.
Yeah, there's nothing there, so it should be zeros. Okay, so what would that number look like? What would that look like, Mason?
0, 0, 9, comma, 0, 0, 0, comma, 5, 2, 0.
Exactly, except for, and you actually don't need the zeros in the front. You can put them there, but you don't need them really. Like if you're 8, you wouldn't say like I'm 008, I'm just 8. You don't need the zeros in front of it, but you can have them there. So it'd be 9, comma, 0, 0, 0, comma, 5, 2, 0. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do this exact same thing on your whiteboard. So if you go to your whiteboard, and pretty much most of the time you're gonna wanna do your whiteboard like this. You wanna put it this way, because if we're doing math problems, like, you might run out of space. So, and then sometimes I'll tell you to put it long ways, but right now let's do it like that. So let's do this. Put blank, 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 comma, blank, 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 comma, blank, blank, blank. So it's basically like we just did, and then all you do is fill in the blanks. So we have 3 blanks for each period, and you'll be able to do the same thing. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. So I'm going to give you a number, and then just know, of course, this is the millions, the thousands, and then the units are the ones. Okay, so let's say we have 65 million. So go to the millions, and you just need 65. So 65 million. 50,000, and that's it. So 65 million, and then 50 in the thousands, and then nothing else. So then you would fill in zeros for everything that you don't have anything for. So 65 million, 50,000. What would that look like? Maggie?
65, 0, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Exactly. 65, comma, 050, comma, 0, 0, 0. Exactly. Okay, let's try another one. And that's the best way if you are having to write a number to do the blanks, and then you can just make sure that you fill in everything. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's see. Let's do 29 million. So that's 29 in the millions period. 9,000. So you're in the thousands period, just a 9.
Wait, what's the?
29 million.
29 million.
9,000. And then 9. Just a 9. So then you put a 29 in the millions, a 9 in the thousands, and a 9 in the units is what you should have. And then fill in everything else with zeros. And that should be your number. So Maddie, sorry, I'm going to do that. Maddie, what'd you get?
I got 2, 9, comma, 0, 0, 9, comma, 0, 0, 9.
Exactly. Y'all gotten that faster today than any of my other classes. Okay. So we are going to do a game that is going to keep you practicing place value, but the game's actually going to go to the billions period. So it's the same as this, but we're adding one more period, and so it's gonna be the billions, and so just like the millions has millions, 10 millions, and 100 billions, it's gonna have billions, 10 billions, and 100 billions in it, okay? For the game, you're gonna need, well, in here, we don't have a choice but to do a group of 3 and a group of 2. So let me get y'all to split into